Hello students, I am S.G. Subramanian and I am teaching public administration for the past 25 years, and I have also authored the book titled Indian Constitution, Indian Polity, published by Pearson. Now the session what we are going to do today is about public administration as an optional. Why one should choose public administration as an optional? How good is public administration as an optional? Now this, by the way, one of the important questions about civil service preparation is choice of optional subjects. What option do I choose? Which option will suit me? Which option will help me to crack this examination, clear the examination, and reach the destination where I will have to go? Meaning, how will this option, choosing a particular option, will help me to reach out to IAS is a question, right? So this is what every candidate is harping on, and this is one of the $1 million question in the minds of the optionals. Now let us discuss about, first of all, the difficulty of why this question is so important. See, this question is very important because you have to choose your optional after well thought out and an informed manner. Because you may end up, see, not that we wish that every candidate will be in IAS, reach out to Mazur in his first attempt. However, there may be eventually required for any candidate to give 1 or 2 attempts more. Even if a candidate is getting into, say, IRS, he might have to improve to become an IAS officer. So, in that case, you need to ensure that you will not lose interest in the optional subject what you have already chosen. Because this portion called as interest is very, very important. Without interest, one cannot keep reading the subject time and again. So that is why it is really becoming a very important and a pertinent question for any candidate to consider and make a decision which will be well thought out and an informed decision. Now, that's the reason why I told you this is a $1 million question ringing in the minds of every candidate before he chooses an option. Now, another question comes. Sir, this optional subject is only for mains. Why do you say that I have to choose the optional subject even before I step in? Let me first test the waters. Let me first write the prelims. Let me check whether I will be able to clear the prelims or not. And in case I am clearing the prelims, then there is a reason for me to choose the optional subjects. Now, the reason I tell you to choose the optional subject beforehand, even before your prelims, is that you have to plan and spread out your time. Let's spread out your time for studying the optional subjects. In fact, assuming that a candidate is planning for appearing in, say, prelims 2022, and he starts, this is the ideal time for him to start now. In case he is starting now, it will be better if he starts with an optional subject as well, because he has enough time. See, one has to plan accordingly. See, for the prelims, there is 400 marks. This is only a qualifier. Whereas for the mains, we have 1750 marks, which is very important, of which the option subject is 500 marks. It's a substantial one. If you look at the percentage distribution, it is substantial. It's close to 1/3 of the total marks. And scoring an optional subject is much easier, because to cross 300, if a candidate has chosen the right optional and has been preparing with an appropriate plan, a proper guidance, then scoring 300 plus out of 500 in the optional would be very, very handy, because it's going to determine your rank. Optional does not only enables you to score, but it also plays a very major role in determining your rank. That is the reason why we always go in for the success rate of optionals. If you look at public administration, if you look at the last few years trend, public administration accounts for close to 8% to 10% of the total results. And it varies. 10% is the higher side and 5 to 8% is the variance with respect to the result production with the public administration as an optional. So now you have 1.5 years time. Now if you are going to start preparing for your 2022 prelims, we are in July 2021. Your mains is going to be somewhere in October, November of 2022. So you have got 1.5 years time. So you can spread out your optional subjects, the preparation of your optional subject, plan accordingly, attend the classes and whatever notes you have to take, you can take notes, and you will be having enough time to read extra readings to distinguish yourself from the rest of the other candidates, because this is after all a competitive examination, and how one candidate distinguishes himself from the other is going to matter a lot. So this planning and spreading out of time with a view to ensure a better score which is more than 300 in the mains examination optional, in order to determine a better rank which will help you to reach out to the destination called IAS, it is essential for you to choose the optional beforehand. I hope I have harped on this point very well. Now, fine sir, whatever you have told, I have understood, and I also understand that doing an optional subject or choosing an optional subject and be prepared with that optional subject well in advance is essential. Now the question is, how do I choose? Now again, I come back to the point of interest. Choose a subject that interests you, or choose a subject in which you can develop interest. How will I choose a subject and develop interest? Why should I do that? Because now coming to the subject, what I am going to teach you is public administration. And public administration, what is the need for me to develop interest in public administration? Remember, when it comes to civil services as an IAS officer or any service for that matter, your training is going to be based on public administration, and public administration is a subject that you are going to do. Public administration is a subject that you are going to perform. It's about gathering the knowledge of what you are going to do beforehand. So that way it is easy for you to develop interest. Now coming to public administration, why should I teach, why should I choose public administration? As I already told you, it accounts for 8 to 10% of the total results, the final results. So the success rate is relatively higher. And more number of candidates choose public administration. See, what is the reason public administration is having only few optionals or having higher rates of success? This is because of something called as a law of average. Though UPSC does not have any hard and fast rule that they have to select candidates from some of the subjects, that is, or proportionately select candidates from subjects, the optional subjects, the law of average in mathematics will force UPSC to ensure that they are giving due importance to certain subjects which are opted by many students, many candidates, which means those optionals which are popular will gain because of this law of average. That is the reason why the success rate in public administration is pretty much higher, and we have to tap the advantage of that in order to be successful in the examination. After all, examination is like a business where you have to calculate the cost benefit analysis, the cost and benefit. Now, sir, so what you say is right. I can understand the economics behind the preparation by choosing public administration as an optional. But will I be able to study? what will I be able to study? What will I be studying in public administration? Will I be able to study? Will I be able to develop interest, as you said? This is a very important question that may come to your mind. Let me tell you, public administration is, though I will not rate any subject as easy and difficult. Every subject is easy and every subject is difficult. In fact, if you have interest, the subject becomes much easier. If you don't have interest, the subject becomes very difficult. Similarly, see, the idea of interest, right? The idea of interest, what is the outcome of interest? It makes the learning easier. But what will help, or what will make you, or how is that you develop interest? What will be the factors that impact interest? Is the guidance available. Right? When you have the guidance, when the guide can tell you this is the way you have to travel, this is a path you have to tread on, and so the guidance will help you to improve your interest. Similarly, the availability of books and materials. When you have ample books and materials to refer, study, it helps you to develop interest. Similarly, the competition. When I say competition, I am not talking about the difficulty, I am talking about the larger size of the people. You will always have a measure, you will always have a comparison. Where are you? Where do you stand? And where you can be, where you need improvement, where you are better. These ideas can be done when you have more number of candidates opting for that. When you sit in a class of about 50 people, it will be easy for you to assess yourself, compare yourself, and you can have an idea about what the competition is going to be. The sample space, the competition I mean here is the sample space. It will give you an adequate sample space that will help you to assess what kind of efforts it is required for you to put in across when you do a particular subject. That's the most important thing when I talk about competition. This is what I am trying to convey to you when it comes to competition. So this will help you to assess where you are. This will help you to assess what is lacking in you, how you have to improve, and where others are concentrating. These ideas you can get when you have the sample space is larger. It's very clear in statistics also. The sample space determines the outcome. The inferences are more governed by the sample, the size of the sample space. So that will be given to you by this sample space. Similarly, the nature of the subject. See, what is the subject? See, basically, public administration is a humanity subject. Relatively, public administration is a young discipline. Hardly it is 120, 130, 150 years maximum. Public administration, though as an activity has been there since time immemorial, as a discipline, it got emerged only in 1880s. So from 1880 to 1990 should be 100 years. From 1990 to 220 is 40 years. Max 140 years. So the syllabus, what you are going to cover, right? The syllabus, what you are going to cover, or the syllabus that you are expected to study is pretty much limited, right? Pretty much limited one. So the subject is not a heavy subject. Number two, when it comes to the nature of the subject, public administration is something connected to activity that happens around you. Right? It is connected to the activities that are happening around you, which means public administration, when you study something, you can see, for example, I can give you one good example of public administration, what you can see on the day-to-day basis. Have you gone to your kitchen and We all know what is this modular kitchen. At every house, in all our houses, we have modular kitchen. What is the connection between modular kitchen and public administration? If you ask me, I can simply say modular kitchen is something that is what is conceptualized by scientific management theory. I can give you a number of examples of these kind. And whatever the government does is governance. Whatever the government activities are being undertaken is public administration. That is what you are going to do. So, the nature of the subject, when I say, it comes to what is known as the activities involved in that subject. The nature of the subject is that though it is a young subject and it is based on activities that you can see around you and you can connect yourself with you, and this connect will help you to generate much more greater interest. Similarly, another point that can generate interest with respect to nature of the subject is that in public administration, most of the syllabus, the topics in the syllabus are interconnected. You will not have to read them again. They are all interconnected. The interconnectivity of the syllabus when I say interconnectivity, remember the topics are interconnected among themselves as well as the topics are interconnected to general studies. What you study in public administration or what you study for public administration will be lesser, though the topic, if you look at the syllabus, see, it will be somebody who has gone through the syllabus will be feeling that it is what I am speaking is unbelievable. But let me tell you, it is a believable fact, right? It is a believable fact, and it is a believable fact because, let me tell you, the subjects what you are going to study. See, public administration in general. It has two papers. First paper is called as public administration, where you will study theories. Concepts, ideas, and second paper is termed as Indian administration, where you will be studying the application of these theories to the Indian system. Right? Application to Indian system. So this is what you are going to study. Let me tell you an example. For example, in the paper 1, you have something called as personal administration. Wherein you will be studying recruitment, training, pay and service conditions, performance appraisal, so on and so forth. The same you are going to study in the Indian system. How recruitment is in India, how training is in India, how performance appraisal is being done in India, what are the conceptual elements that performance appraisal, for example, has, and how performance appraisal is being done in Indian system, and what are the lacuna and what are the reforms. And those reforms only you are going to study as part of the reports, the recommendations and reports of various companies. For example, you will study performance appraisal as a concept, then how performance appraisal is applied in India, then what are the recommendations of, say, 5th Pay Commission, 6th Pay Commission, 7th Pay Commission, or even the 2nd Administrative Reforms Commission. So this is why it is going to be interconnected. Similarly, in the first paper you have financial administration, and in second paper you have finance management. In first paper you will be talking about the concepts of budget, concepts of finance, concepts of fiscal policy, and in second paper you will be focusing on how fiscal policy is made in India, who makes that, what is the structure of Ministry of Finance, how railway budget is being done, why they were separated, why are they now integrated, All these things you are going to study. So what you study here, you will apply here. So though the syllabus appears to be, there are in total 27 units in the syllabus, but if you integrate them, you will end up with only 13 to 14 topics. Similarly, so the syllabus is concentrated. Syllabus is, in fact, what do you call that? This is like compressed, right? Syllabus is compressed. The files are compressed, right? The same way the files are compressed, and the syllabus in public administration that way becomes very much relatively simpler. Similarly, when it comes to the Indian administration, the basics of Indian administration is on the Constitution of India. This is exactly what you are going to study as part of Indian polity in paper 2 of the mains. Anyway, you are going to study Constitution. When you study Indian administration, you are going to if we are going to study about Indian administration, we are going to study about the powers of what is the constitutional framework, what are fundamental rights and DPSP, and how Union Executive and State Executive, the President and Council of Ministers, Governor and Council of Ministers of State, how are these things related, what are the aspects, what is federation, what are the challenges to federation, all those aspects you are going to study as part of POBAD, which you are going to study as part of Indian polity as well. Similarly, whatever you are going to study here as part of governance, concepts of governance, good governance, civil society, organizations, role of civil society, role of bureaucracy in development, and role of bureaucracy in a democracy, everything you will be studying here, which you are going to apply in paper 2 of in general studies, the Indian polity and Indian constitution, polity and governance and international relations, where about 200 marks out of the 250 of the paper 2 of general studies, the 200 marks are very much related to public administration, and this is the interconnectivity of the subject matters of the syllabus in the public administration, as well as the interconnectivity of public administration syllabus with the Indian administration. So this will help you to the interconnectivity you will understand the interconnectivity, that will give you the interest, that will help you to generate the interest, which actually makes your learning much easier. So is the case with ethics also. But if you look at public administration syllabus, there are certain things which you will be studying in public administration with respect to ethics, values, etc. And these ethics and values you are going to study as part of personal administration in paper 1, civil services in India in paper 2, as well as the significant values in the Indian administration as part of the last part, significant issues and values governing the public governance in India, values in public administration in India. This is a topic that you will be studying as part of the significant issues in Indian administration, which is the last part of it, last part of the syllabus, the last topic in the syllabus. That is going to help you in paper 4 as well. Right? This you will have a clarity. The way you are going to answer paper 4, the questions asked in paper 4 will be altogether different. You'll be able to distinguish between your answer and the answers written by any other candidate because of your conceptual strength in ethics, values, etc. Because you would have already studied them as part of public administration only. So, guidance teachers matter, and this is a very simple logic to understand. In the schools, when you don't like a teacher, you will not like the subject as well. The same way, if you have good guidance, if you have a good teacher, you will develop interest. And when the sample space, when you know that what you are doing is enough or not, or when you are able to assess what you are doing is enough or not, your interest will be better. You will be able to develop interest and sustain the interest. Similarly, the availability of the materials, you don't have to run around from pillar to post to gather materials. It's ample amount of materials are available. And what to read, how to read, the guidance matters. There we are going to help you out. And the nature of the subject, it's a very young subject. It is a very, the syllabus is very much confined, syllabus is very much intact. And the syllabus is still further can be impacted because of the interconnectivity. Therefore, learning public administration and scoring with public administration would be much easier. Sir, all that is fine. You are talking about very good aspects of public administration. Does it mean that public administration does not have anything difficult? So, what are the difficulties, if at all there are any difficulties? You have to be fair and neutral, right? The basic difficulty, what, in my experience, which candidates face is the problem of language. See, all that what you require with respect to public administration is a basic minimum level of language. See, whatever be the language, you may be writing public administration in Hindi medium, you may be writing public administration in Tamil medium, or you may be writing public administration in English medium. Whatever it is, you have to understand that you need to have a basic minimum communicational language, which should be formal writing. Because many a time, people find it difficult to understand the question. So, the basic English, to be very precise, whatever medium you are writing your answers, but the questions are going to be in English or in Hindi. In case you belong to, you know Hindi and you can understand the question from the Hindi, your life is easier. But if you don't know Hindi and you are going to rely on English, then your basic minimum level of English is important. But this is not something that is undevelopable. It is something that can be easily developed. For that also, I shall give you guidance in the class. So, this is all about public administration as an optional. I hope it was a useful session for you. Let us try to work together. What can be done? How can the score be improved with public administration as an optional? And I am there to guide you. And thank you very much for watching this video.